Good morning students, myself Dr. Shirisha, Associate Professor from CSE Department, MLR Institute of Technology. In this session, I just wanted to tell you how to connect it to PHP database. In this session, I want to cover connecting to a server, creating the database, creating the table, inserting the data into the table, deleting the data into the table, updating the data into the table, displaying the data. So, for all these create, insert, delete, update and display, we have discussed in the last session what are the commands or what are the queries that you have to write using MySQL. So, in this session, we will see the implementation of them. So, connecting to a server. So, how to connect it to a server? You start with a PHP starting and ending tag. So, in between in the business logic, you have to give the server name, username and password. We all know the server name while executing we are giving this local host in the browser. So what is this local host? Local host is nothing but the server name. Then username. So MySQL, if you take this MySQL username will be root and there will be no password. So empty we are giving for password, username we are passing as root. When you are sending this, you create a connection. So, how to create a connection? MySQL underscore I. MySQL I we are giving because this is upgraded version of PHP. So, that can be used using I. Okay. MySQL I underscore connect, and for this function you have to pass a parameter for this method. Server name, this first one, first parameter, username second parameter, third one, third parameter. Rather than initializing here and sending, you can also pass the values directly here rather than passing the variables as the parameters. So when you are using this MySQL I connect, this is stored in the $con variable. So here if connection is successful, that means what? If you are checking whether connection is successful or not. So if not connected, then die and connection failed. So for getting some error message, to display the error message, connection failed, they are using MySQL connect error. Means the SQLi when it is integrated with PHP, it understands that the connection is not successful. Therefore, it sends the error message. This die function will first display this connection failed message, then it will it will lose the connection. So if it is not connected, then only it will go here. If the connection is successful, then it will go for echo connected successfully. Okay. So let me show you this example. So where to do or how to do this SQL program or connectivity program? This execution will be same. Just to take your editor and in this editor you can just save the program. Okay. Save it with .php extension. So I am giving connect.php. Okay. Select all files. Okay. Save. Then how to execute? Before starting, you have to start your Apache and MySQL. So this is the control panel of our RAM server. So once these two are started, then your execution will be same. Just go to the local host and our folder. In our folder, whatever the file name you have given, connect.php, connected successfully. That means what? XAMPP is easily connecting your username, that means connecting your PHP with the MySQL. So if you see here, MySQL I connect is helping you to connect with the server, that means the local host, with the MySQL. That means root is a username for that one, MySQL, and password. Password is nothing. Okay, remember this. So MySQL connect is a function which or method which is used for getting the connection. And this is the error message. Similarly, we'll try with the other SQL queries. So first query, let me give here, creating a database. So for creating a database, you have to use the SQL query. So write a query, create database name into some variable, and just check that if in that connection query of SQL true, means if your connection is there, if your query is executed, then return this database created successfully. If this is failed, then this you will get this error message, error creating the database. So this error messages, for getting the error messages, you have some you have to give this $con error. So this is a type of associative array you can think of, and this is a connection which is taking the error message, and that error message also we are passing here. So it is displaying that. So once the everything is done, your connection has to be closed, for which we have created a connection here. So this con is connected to the MySQL. So using this con, con dot close or con arrow close we are giving. So how to create a database and how to check whether it is created or not. Let us see. This is already done. Okay. So echo here we are trying to create a database. So you are checking whether that is true or not, whether the connection is successful and the query has been executed in that or not. Accordingly, you are displaying the message. Error creating the database because my DB2 database already exists. So I told you in the last session, when you are creating the database, you have to give the unique name. If you are giving already existed database name, then you will get this error, database existence error. Then what you have to do, just go here, change this to some other name. So this is my database name. So here connected successfully and database also created successfully. Now where to check whether this is connected successfully or database is created successfully or not. Now open the other browser, go to localhost / PHP myadmin. Okay. Just hit enter. So when you are giving localhost / PHP myadmin, this page will get open. So what is this page? Here if you see, all the databases which are created are displayed here. So what we have created? Siri. So that is Siri. This is the database that we have created. If you see here towards the right side of the panel, so we have this CD. So this is a database that we have created. Okay. So in this, if you wanted to create any tables, you can do it from here also. Let me tell you from the program. Now next, let us see how to insert or how to create a table. We have created a database, now we have to create a table. So how to create a table? This is all a connection code. So once the connection is successful, so database name, so we have created Siri, so you can change this to Siri. Then once the connection is over, we are creating a table. Again, no need to create a database, already database is created. So we are directly going to create table. This is the table name my guest, and just give ID and different fields that you want. So ID as the first field, first name as the second field I need. So which are of int and var respectively. And these are also other fields, last name and email also. So 4 fields we have given here. And if the connection query is successful, then echo table my guest created successfully, otherwise error message. Okay. So let us execute this. You can change it from here because already connection is common for every program. So once the connection is over, and if you have checked whether the connection is successful or not, okay, and directly you can come here and just create a table. So here let me create, okay, my guess is there. So we are creating another database, Siri database, so I'll keep it as is. Let us execute this. So no database selected. So we have to select the database first. So for giving the database, so we have to add database as a other field here. So I am creating here database name. So what is my database name? Siri. Okay. Then just as fourth parameter we have to pass, okay, to make the SQL connection. So previously we have given only the server name, username and password. Along with this, we are also sending the database name. What is our database name? The database name that we have just created. Okay. Now, okay. So connected successfully and table my guest also created successfully. But we have to cross check whether it is created or not. Now go to PHP my admin, then click on the Siri. If you see here, my guest is there. So what is there in my guest? So my guest is created, but there is nothing. Okay. So you have only ID, first name, last name, email. So here how many we have given? ID, first name, last name, email we have created. So you could see all the fields here. So just click on this my guest table that you have created. So you could see the fields. Clear? Then after creating the table, nextly what we have to do? You have created a table with 4 columns. So we have to insert the values to that. So how to insert the values? So this part already server name, localhost we have given, root, then no password, then database, here just rename this with Siri, and MySQL is used for making the connection and pass all the 4 parameters. So whatever you have given here, just we are passing 4 to make the connection and check whether the connection is successful or not. Now to insert, what is the query that we require? Insert into the table values. So values you have to give. Then this is the connection. One row inserted, otherwise you will get an error message. So let us execute inserting the table values. So this is where we are changing this. Okay. Let me change the values. Okay. Then we are checking the connection and we are closing the connection finally. So when you want to insert, so we are giving the query what? Insert. If you see the database name, we are giving Siri, then we have to give the table name. So insert into which table we have created, that is my guest. Okay. Now just execute this. Okay, one row inserted, but we have to check whether that row is inserted or not. Go to my PHP admin, PHP my admin, go to my guest, and if you see here, so ID is there, first name, last name, email with the values, 4 different values. Clear? So what we are doing here, the code everywhere, we have done 4 programs. In all the 4, the connection, if you understand once, we are using the same throughout all the 4 programs. Only the command we have to change and do the necessary changes wherever required. That means what? Whether you are using the table or not, whether you are using this database or not, or if any changes you have to make in this database name. Okay, like that. Required changes only we will do, otherwise Query execution, we are not changing this if condition, we are not changing this connection clause, we are not changing this MySQL connect error, we are not changing this MySQL connect also. So, the methods or how you are processing this SQL queries or the methods you are using here are same throughout. Okay. Then, deleting the data from the table. So, how to delete? Delete keyword. Delete from myGuest where ID equals to 100. Similarly, one row deleted and you can use. Okay. Then, updating the data. So, this we can do. So, here to update we need a update myGuest. Okay. So, update table name. Set is the keyword that you are using here to change the value. So, here whatever the email you have given, where ID is equals to 100. So, this you wanted to update. Okay. So, just we'll check whether it is updated or not. Delete, you can just check it out. We'll go with update. Okay. So, from connection to close. So, here just we are giving SQL command update myGuest and set email equals to, so whatever the email you wanted to give, so that email you are giving here where ID is 100. So, what is the ID that we have given? I think it is not 100. Yes, it is 100. So, then you can use that 100 only. Okay, where ID is 100. So, I am changing this to this mail ID. Okay. Now, just execute the program. Undefined variable gone. Oh, I have removed the connection. Sorry. Okay, con, and the database name we have given as Siri, then connection failed message, then update myGuest. myGuest is the table name that we have in that Siri. Now, just refresh. Error updating. So, Siri myGuest does not exist. So, what is there in Siri? Siri myGuest is there. Just give here. Guests, S is there. Okay, row updated. So, what is the row that we have given previously? That we have to check. Just refresh. So, if you see here, previously I have given some other mail ID. Now, I have updated to some other mail ID. So, previously it is nallasitish@gmail.com. Now, it is soumya.gmail.com. So, we are updating here. So, this is where you have to give the condition. What is the condition that we have given? ID equals to 100. That means the email is getting updated where this ID is 100. If I give separate next different ID, then it will go to that ID and get the email updated there. Okay. Then displaying the data from the table. So, how to display the data? Select star from. Star will select all the fields, but if you wanted to select a particular field, then you can write it, select whatever the fields that you want. ID, first name, last name, email from the table name. So, this select star from also you can give. Select star from myGuest. This is also can be used. So, here you have given a query and result number of rows is greater than 0. If there are no rows, then what you can print? You can't print anything. So, there should be at least one row inserted. So, for that reason, you are checking whether the number of rows are there or not. So, if it is greater than 0, then you are printing this table ID, and we are using here TRTH because I want the output in the tabular format. There's a reason we are using a HTML table tag with TR. TR is a table row and TH is a table heading. Okay. So, name, email. So, this, since these are the headings, you are getting these things, and if it is DD, then you have to fetch, means whatever the values that you are inserted. Say you have inserted ID as 100. So, that ID should be retrieved here, right? So, to retrieve that value, while $row is result fetch associate. Okay. So, echo. So, row of ID. What is this ID? The ID which we have given. So, row means what? Table row. So, in that ID row, that what are the value you have there, so that has to be retrieved. So, that's why we are giving here $symbol. Similarly, for the first name, so whatever the values that you wanted to extract, you can concatenate them using this dot symbol. The dot is doing the concatenation. Let us execute this. Updating, displaying. Okay. So, how to display? Just use that command. So, select start from, or select the particular field names also you can give. Specific field names also can be given. So, you have warnings, I will tell you. Then this is displayed, ID, name and email 100 and name is displayed. So, array string conversion, array to string conversion. So, ID, name, email. So, ID is 100, name is given and also your email is printed. So, we have updated the email, then you have not changed that. So, that is getting printed. Clear? So, this is how you can use the select particular fields from the My Guest. So, in this session, we have discussed about connecting to the server and all the SQL queries we have discussed, which we have discussed in the previous session. All the queries we have executed today with the help of the PHP MyAdmin, and have shown you how the database are created and tables are created, whether they have created or not also we have checked. So, connecting to a server is given, and creating the databases we have discussed, table, how to insert into table values, then delete from table name, update using the conditional statement, you have to give where and where clause should be given, displaying the data using the select start from table name. So, these are this is about the PHP database connectivity with the examples. Thank you all.